See if Professor's mic is fixed. Your mic is fixed. Look, can we go to him? Yeah.
Yeah. So, Dr. the thing that the finance minister can do actually is one to announce that some things will not change in the next few years. So therefore, they give a kind of stability, certainty about the whole fiscal situation, whether it's the corporate rate or it's the income tax, etc., etc. So that's one that he can do. The second thing he can do is to maybe I think it's time to shift to the new regime. You know,
push mandatorily.
Yeah, push the new regime and be done with it. And the third, which because of the weakness of the private investment, is to announce measures that will encourage the private sector to start investing
more. Yeah. Ma'am, you know, I just showed that graphic. I don't know if we can play that again. This public expenditure, public capex expenditure of the Modi government has been breaking all kinds of records. 10 lakh crores was crossed first time in FY 2025. Last year was 11 lakh crores. I mean, while that's great, how long can the government alone be doing this heavy lifting?
The increase in infrastructure spending has been a very important part of the recent budgets, and it's a big growth driver. The roads and the railways and the interventions in the ports, connecting the manufacturing clusters to EXIM gateways, interventions in the rural economy. And when there's so much of push for infrastructure, not only is it good for the investor sentiment and to improve the logistics cost, but it also has a lot of benefits. A growth momentum is unleashed in the economy for the steel industry, the cement, and all the other components which go into infrastructure. And look at real estate. Real estate is a growth driver today. And all
markets are flat. I mean, markets are open today, by the way. It's a Sunday, but because it's the union budget presentation today, the markets are open. Fairly flat, about 0.1%, I think, down the Sensex. But again, you can never tell with the markets. You could have the best budget, the markets could still be down. You could have the worst budget and the markets still can be up. I think, but the big expectation from the market is on LTCG and STCG. I think this is something that they've been talking about for a while. Whether or not the finance minister has the elbow room to fix that, I don't know. Just in terms of, you know, her fiscal mobility, as it were. But aside of that, Professor Mehrotra also wanted to make a point about, you know, we've been talking about why is private sector not coming in? Why is gross fixed capital formation still not showing that change of trend over the last 4 or 5 years, certainly after COVID?
So let me begin by talking about the good news on the public capex. You are absolutely right, Zaka, that it has been very large and in absolute terms, in lakh crores, it does seem to be extremely large. However, you know, lakh crores is not a very good estimate to look at, because obviously the rupee is depreciating all the time, meaning the inflation is taking place. So all economists look at this as a proportion of GDP, you know that. And in the last 10 years, there's been, you know, significant capex, but it's always been in the region of 6 to 6.2% of GDP, which is what it used to be in the preceding 10-year period. The difference was precisely what you asked about, that the private sector used to kick in and it has not been kicking in. And that's very problematic, and it's very critical that, you know, everything is done to actually prevent the government from continuing to spend so much on infrastructure, because it is not being able to spend on all the good things for human capital, on health and education and nutrition that it could have, should have, and where the public expenditure has come down. So we should spend some time talking about private investment, why it's not rising.
Okay.
Yeah.